I'm just so happy, man. I'm just so happy. I am finally back on YouTube. It's been a long 2 months, man, but I am back. I went on a small break because I was finishing my bachelor's degree, and now your girl is finished. So I got a couple things out of the way while I was gone. I will list a few, not to brag, but I will list a few. So I completed my bachelor's degree in entrepreneurship. I extended my apparel line for Naturally Belizean. I now have crop tops and shorts. I have a new and improved ring light that I am now selling. See? See the difference? So yeah, I got a couple things out of the way that I am very proud of, and I am back. I am back filming for YouTube and for you guys. I know I jump on here and I normally do the regular makeup routine or a product testing routine, stuff like that, but tonight it's a bit different. Tonight it's all about getting to know Shatefa and who I am, and I'm also answering questions from Instagram that you all asked me today. So I got these ready for today. I will be stating small little facts about me that I believe you all already know, and then I will jump into the Instagram Q&A segment in a bit. Alright, so let's start this video. First fact is that my name is Shatefa Taisha Garbut. So that's fact number one. My favorite color is purple. My favorite food is burger or wings. I have one tattoo. This is not real. I recently finished my bachelor's degree in entrepreneurship, as mentioned earlier in the video. I'm very athletic. My favorite sport is volleyball. I'm from Belize, Kaya district. And my bad if the reflection of the ring light is like right there, but my eyes are hurting me, so yeah. Moving on, I love testing products. Like, I love testing hair products, makeup, skincare products. I love testing products, especially if they say the product is like organic or natural based or vegan, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, I love testing products. Fun fact, and I think everybody knows this by now, I love supporting my local small businesses here in Belize, because I mean, support your own first and then others follow. So yeah, speaking of small businesses, my small business will be turning 4 years old on September 15th, and I currently have a giveaway live. It will end on the 15th of September, and the prizes are worth up to 475 Belize dollars. So if you haven't seen that as yet, then you can go and jump on to Naturally Belizean Instagram page and join. Okay, so now moving into the Instagram questions for tonight. So the first question I got is, what's your hair type? So my hair type is somewhere between 3B and 3C. Sometimes it's 3B, sometimes it's just natty, and so I just said a 3C. But yeah, it's somewhere between 3B and 3C. I don't really pay attention to my hair type because when it comes to your curl pattern, you have at least 2 to 3 different hair patterns. It's kind of hard for me to judge my own hair type. Question number 2. Okay, so what is the meaning behind your tattoo? Okay, so I mentioned earlier that I only have one tattoo, and I got this tattoo in December 2015, and it's actually this one, and it actually says Siki, and it's for my nephew who passed away in 2015. So I got his initials tattooed with the angel wings on my wrist that same year. So that is the meaning behind my tattoo. Yeah. I see a lot of questions here, like naturally Belizean, so I'll just get into that in a second. Third question. What motivated you to start and continue your business regardless of any negativity? What motivated me to start? I have several factors that motivated me to start my own small business 4 years back. And I see a lot of the same questions, so I will just like go one by one and answer one factor each for these questions so I don't miss out on anyone's question. I would say the first thing that motivated me to start my business is basically being young, because I was 17 years old when I started Naturally Belizean. So being young and determined to succeed in life at a young age really motivated me. It was really something I wanted from a very, very young age, and I think that was one of the main reasons why I pushed and I opened my business eventually, because I wanted to be known as one of those young entrepreneurs who literally started when they were young and succeeded throughout time with their small business. So that is one factor that motivated me to open my small business. Second part of the question is continue your businesses regardless of any negativity. I have heard several stuff about my brand, about my business, and honestly I take it as criticism, and I take criticism very seriously. I don't turn it away. I listen to them, because criticism will make your business better, or if you don't listen to it, it can make your business worse. It's always good to listen to people and see, even if they don't say it directly to you or maybe to somebody else, and then that person comes and tell you, it's good to listen regardless. Even though there have been several negativity throughout the years, I kept pushing and pushing and pushing, because I have a goal where I want to reach eventually with my brand. And regardless of any negativity, I don't take it anyway. I don't pout over it. I don't lament over something someone said, because at the ending of the day, I am the one who owns the business. I can make it better, or I can just leave it as it is. So I never allow negative comments to hold me back or to hold me down. I actually use that as a stepping stone to be better at something or to improve something in my brand. I hope that answered your question. Question number 4. Someone asked, how old am I? I'm 21 now. I'm gonna be 22 next month. I am 21 years old. I will be turning 22 exactly 1 month away from now. So I can finally relate to Taylor Swift's song. Question number 5. What do you use for hair growth? And I say this a lot. I always say this. Coconut oil and egg. You can't get it better than that. I mean, that's like the key for hair growth. Healthy hair growth, shiny hair, anything coconut oil and egg will bring you back. Seriously. So yeah, I always say this. I even have a blog. I will link it down below on how to get healthy hair, because I prefer healthy hair over longer hair. So I have a blog on that and y'all should read it. Question number 6. Tips on starting your business at a young age. Not really a question, but more of advice. So tips at starting your business at a young age, I would give 3 tips. Always find your niche. When I say find your niche, always stand out and do your own thing. Stay in your own lane. Don't do what everyone else is doing. Once you have that niche, no one can take that away from you. For example, one of my businesses, Globalize by Shatefa, I do ring lights that I showed you earlier, and I started in May because I always wanted a ring light, but Amazon ring lights are like 130 something US, and that's like way too much money for a light. So I made one for myself, and I found out a lot of people was having the same issue. They wanted a ring light, but it was too expensive, so I began to sell ring lights. And at this point, I still believe I'm still the only person selling ring lights in Belize. handmade ring lights to be exact, not the ones on eBay and Amazon. So yeah, I found a niche. Actually, I had a problem and I solved it, but I found a niche and I stuck to it, and that's how you dominate the market. That is tip number 1 for starting a small business at a young age. Tip number 2, I would say, is always be determined, always be motivated, always have faith. If nobody believes in your business or what you are planning to do, make sure you believe in what you are planning to do, because people won't mess with your movement until it's moving. So best be yourself, best enjoy what you are doing. I mean, it's not work if you like it. That's what I always say. Always keep motivated and always have faith in what you are doing and what you are putting out there. Maybe you started off slow, and eventually as time goes by, people will get to know you more, people will get to know the brand more, and then your sales will go up and your brand exposure will go up. Like I said, believe in yourself, believe in what you do. I will always compare to Naturally Belizean because I didn't start it off with 1,000 people knowing about me. I started off with basically close friends knowing about my brand because I wasn't really out there as yet. I started off with close friends from around the country who knew about me, who knew what I was trying to do, and they supported me. Even if it was a share of my business page, even if it was tagging me in something or buying a product or merch, they supported me. So I started off with 16 sales in the remainder of 2016. Since my opening of business in September that year, I started off with 16 sales total done, and it was a bit sad, but I mean, you have to be determined and you have to set goals for yourself and you have to set business goals for your brand, and without those, I don't think you will go too far if you don't know where you actually want to go. So I kept determined. I put in more hours in my brand, I put in more work, I put in more research, I did all of that because only you can make or break your business. So that is tip number 2. Never lose faith, always keep going. Tip number 3, I would say, is having a little savings aside. It doesn't have to be in the bank because I started when I was 17. I couldn't have a bank account as yet, so I had to wait a year later to have my bank account. So I had savings cash in my room, or I had my mom hold it for me, but always have a little savings to start you somewhere. You might have this business in mind, but the finance is not there, so don't lose hope of that. Try to find other source of income to start your small business. When I started Naturally Belizean, I used to work at JDB Pharmaceuticals. This is a distribution company that distributes medicine, and I loved it there, to be honest. In high school, I used to do every summer there because it's right beside my house. I used to do every summers there, and I used to save my money because, I mean, when I started, I'm like 14, and my last summer job was when I was 17 years old, and this was in summer. And that was the same year I decided that I will have my small business, and eventually every paycheck I got, I never touched it. I just kept it aside. I mean, like, you take a little $10, $20 out of it, go buy a little chips and thing, but you know, explode your whole paycheck because you have a paycheck. You want to invest in that money that what you get. So that's what I did. I put it aside for 3 months or 4 months of summer job, and eventually I had enough to invest and start my own business. So tip number 3, find sources of income before you jump in it, and then halfway you don't have enough money to finish what you are starting. So it's always good to have sources of income along the way. So those are my 3 tips on starting a business at a young age. Next question. Please explain to me when you will have my nephew. This is what? Like, what? You hear that? You hear that? Crickets. Yeah. Next question. This person said, how old you, Nene? Please accept my friend request on Instagram. Thanks. What? Anyways, next question. What was your driving force in becoming an entrepreneur? Okay, I like this question. I would say the first driving force in becoming an entrepreneur was to create a business and a brand to empower Belizeans to be proud of who they are and where they come from. Like, that was the main key behind my brand, and that would be the main key behind any business I would own or any business I planned to own at that time when I didn't have Naturally Belizean as yet. I already knew at a young age that I wanted to have a brand to do something with Belize. I know I wanted to have Belize in it because I mean, Belize is a paradise. We are in paradise, and I always wanted to implement Belize in whatever I do. That was one of my driving forces in becoming an entrepreneur. I would say another driving force behind becoming an entrepreneur is also being able to be my own boss. I mean, you can't get it better than that. When you are your own boss, no one can tell you what to do, no one can tell you when to do something or how to do it. So, I mean, it takes a lot of risk and a lot of self-motivation, but being your own boss really drives someone to do something in life, and not to just do but to create something good in life. And I would say that is another top driving force for me. Another driving force I would say is being able to work around my own time instead of having to do a 9 to 5 every day and not really having much time for yourself or time for, you know, growth and stuff like that. So I think time freedom is another driving force I always wanted when I eventually owned my small business. Another driving force becoming an entrepreneur, I would say, is that at a young age I always wanted to create something that was very inspirational, that was very helpful to the economy, and I haven't much figured what that is as yet, but eventually as time goes by I plan to move towards more a social entrepreneur. Hopefully by then I find a niche or I find a problem that I plan to fix that can be very helpful to our economy. So that has and still is one of my key driving forces in becoming an entrepreneur. I always want to give back some way that I can, and eventually I will find out what that is. This is the last driving force I would say is being an inspiration to other young Belizean entrepreneurs or future entrepreneurs who are thinking to own their own small business eventually. Over the years, a lot of people come to me and ask me for advice, ask me how I started my business, if I ever saw it being how it is today, stuff like that, you know, a little motivation and inspiration. And so I think being that person to others, looking up to me, is a driving force for me because it makes me want to do better as an entrepreneur. It makes me want to bring out a ton of stuff, a lot of relative stuff, and it makes me want to create a lot of stuff, a lot of businesses, a lot of brands, and I try to motivate as much as I can because I really push entrepreneurship here in Belize, and I wish people would study more here in Belize. The next question: what inspired you to start your own business? This is question number 2, I believe, and almost the same question. So another factor I would say that motivated me to start my own business was being able to be semi-independent at a young age. When I mean semi-independent, I mean living under your parents' roof but not asking them for money. I was 17 years old and I love spending, and I didn't really budget my money as I should have budgeted my money, but I knew I always wanted to shop, and it was a habit at some point. And I hate asking for stuff. Like, I hate asking for anything. I guess being at a young age and having your own money to buy what you need, I mean, it doesn't have to be shopping and buying clothes and makeup and stuff like that, but small stuff you need. Like I was about to start gailing, and at that point I was already buying my own school books, my bags, my, stationery stuff. And I felt good about that because I didn't have to ask anyone for that. And I think I started small by doing that, and eventually I started off buying my own makeup. I started buying my own clothes. Cause sometimes them buy you something and you don't like it. So you go buy your own stuff. So I felt good about that as well. Eventually I bought my own phone. I did a lot of spending during the years, but it was mostly things I needed or things that I have invested back in naturally bleaching. So I think that motivated me a lot to just be my own boss and have my own money to get what I actually want in life. Next question. How did your brand idea came about? Those masks and tops though. Okay, how did my brand idea came about? So I was basically surfing through the net. I believe this was as I was finished with my summer job. I was surfing the net and I was like, I don't see any naturally Belizean on here. Like I checked Instagram, I checked Facebook, Twitter, all of those. There were actually one naturally Belizean account, but it was by this girl. This young lady. I can't really remember her name, but it wasn't a business. It was just her IG handle, I believe, or she would go as that. So I was like, okay, cool. I wanted to do something with Belize. Of course, I want to have Belize. Then I designed the logo with the head on the map, and that kind of just blew up unexpectedly. And I was like, this is really catching on. So I went with it, I stuck with it, and I just kept improving the brand as the months go by. At first I was doing regular t-shirt, big chop t-shirt. I sold like 16 of those the first year, or 14 of those the first year, as I mentioned earlier. Then I went on to actually doing hand sewn caps. Like I designed the caps and I stitched it with needle and thread, and that's what I did for a couple of months. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. So I did that for a while. It was fun though, and I also learned how to use the sewing machine afterwards. But yeah, I started off with basic stuff. I started off small. Eventually more ideas came around. I met more people, I got more exposure and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how Naturally Belizean came about. Next question. What is your favorite memory as a teenager? Man, I would say my favorite memory as a teenager, I mean, I'm just 2 years ago, but I would say my favorite memory as a teenager is my sweet 16 birthday party. Yes, that was one of my favorite, that is still the top 3 favorite birthday parties I have ever thrown. That I would say is my favorite memory as a teenager. There's so much happening in that year. It was my final year at high school. I was having prom in a couple of months, graduation in a couple of months. It was just a lot happening and I was happy, and my sweet 16 topped it off for the year. I mean, it was the best party of the year. So yeah, I would say that is my favorite memory as a teenager. I actually still have my sweet 16 dress and heels. Next question. What's your favorite color to wear other than yellow? LOL, yellow really suits you though. I wouldn't say I have a favorite color to wear. Most of the time I'm in t-shirts, and I never have like a color combination type of thing. And the only reason I'm in yellow so much is because CK's primary colors is yellow, purple, and orange. So I'm in those 3 colors a lot lately. And usually when I buy clothes in those color as well, so I can wear it when I go to work. And honestly, I don't know why I have so much yellow clothes now. Like, I mean, I would wear some of them at work, but I don't know. I just end up to like the color yellow now, and I never used to like it. So I would say my other favorite color to wear is my other favorite color to wear is burgundy. I love, 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 love burgundy clothes. Yeah, I don't wear it in a while, but my other favorite color to wear is burgundy, or that wine color. So yeah. What made you make a brand? And I love how you built it. Thank you very much. So I guess this is I believe this is the third factor why I created Naturally Belizean. And I would say I am a risk taker. I love taking risks when it comes to business, and I saw Naturally Belizean as a risk because I didn't really know who was going to vibe with the brand, if they would like it, stuff like that. And it was a risk, but I mean, risks makes me feel good in some type of way. It was a part of why I created this brand, because I mean, something unique, something you don't see, or something you can't Google, Google and it will be there. That is a risk, because not everybody will like it. Not everybody might understand it, or understand what you're trying to do. So that was a risk in taking, and that was another driving force, or another factor as to why I started my brand. Take risks, never give up, keep striving. Next question. Who is your favorite YouTuber, Belizean and non-Belizean? I would say right now, my favorite Belizean YouTuber is Leah Samil. I'm not sure if it's Leah or Leah, but there's some. I don't really know how to spell it. I just saw at her YouTube thingy right, yeah. But yeah, I love her videos. Like, I watch her story time every time she posts. Like, I have on the turn on bell notification thingy every time she posts. So yeah, and I have been following her for about 3 years now, and I actually really enjoy watching her videos. Always some type of excitement. And non-Belizean YouTuber, I would say, is Gold Juice. Oh my gosh. I have been a fan of Gold Juice for almost 3 years now. 3 years? Yeah, almost 3 years now. If you don't know who Gold Juice is, there's a YouTube couple. They do so much pranks on each other. I love their videos, and they have genuine love for each other. So I guess that's why I love them so much. So they are my favorite non-Belizean YouTubers. What's the most defining moment of your life this far? Oh my gosh, that is a deep question. Let me see. That is a deep question. Is actually completing my bachelor's degree at 21 years old. I mean, I am a nerd and I had plans. I mean, So master's next. Not because I just completed my bachelor's degree, but I have my bachelor's degree in entrepreneurship. This is a major that was introduced the year I started Galen. And when it was introduced, it was like only 4 of us enrolled in this major. And as time went by, I saw a lot of people joining in and, starting the major as well, or some minored in it. And I was very proud of that, because people would say, well, to be an entrepreneur, you just have to own a business, case closed. And no, you don't. People also be like, why are you going to study something when all you have to know how to manage your business and how to spend and how to take risks and stuff like that? No. Like, entrepreneurship, this program honestly taught me a lot. I learned about business law. Like I learned about business law, I learned about HRM, I learned so many things. I learned the basic foundations of entrepreneurship and being an entrepreneur. What else? I learned a little bit of accounting, a little bit of social problems. I mean, it was a lot in one major, and it is everything you need to know about being an entrepreneur and owning your business and what is entrepreneurship, the different types of entrepreneurship and stuff like that. So I am glad that I started and finished this major. So at this moment, that is my most defining moment so far, and I am thankful for that. And I am thankful for Galen being the only school in Belize to offer that in 2016. So yeah, I also encourage a lot of new students fresh out of high school to join entrepreneurship if you're not too sure about what you want to do, because you will learn a lot. You will definitely learn a lot when it comes to that major. So yeah, go for it. Don't make nobody stop you and tell you what to do it yourself. Next question. What are your top 5 personal values? My top 5 personal values, I would say creativity, achievement, commitment, I would say is 1. Authenticity. I think being unique and different is very, very important when it comes to your brand or yourself. Authenticity is another personal value for me. My final personal value, I would say, is reliability. These are my last 2 questions. So what is your number 1 goal for the next 6 months? I would say the number 1 goal for the next 6 months for me is just being my best self. So 2020 was a year of success, a year of achievements and personal growth. So I want to continue on that personal growth level, because everyone have a ton of stuff they need to fix in their life, a ton of stuff they need to change, bad habits and stuff. So that is my personal number 1 goal for the next 6 months. It's just to be a better version of myself. So yeah. Last question. What's your favorite CK food? I would say my favorite CK food is the shrimp Alfredo. I love pasta, and the pasta at CK. So yeah, that is my favorite food. That was also the final question. If you have made it this far, God bless your soul, because this is the most I have talked on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining again. Thank you for supporting my YouTube journey throughout these months, years, 2 years. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified every time I post. Bye!